Y'all already know what time it is. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Y'all stay tuned.
That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. That's what I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good.
This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me. I mean, float on, float on, float on. This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me.
Vibe Show 97.9. Back again with another exclusive, man. And tonight, I'm telling you, I got one of my brothers, one of my favorite gentlemen joining us on the show tonight, man. It's always an amazing experience every time we connect. Such an honor to have this brother back on here again, doing amazing things out here, and definitely going to drop some gems on y'all. I'm talking about the one and only CEO of Dherbs, entrepreneur, health and wellness expert, amongst other things. The one and only, my brother, A.D. Dolphin.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Hey, man. Feeling good, man. Feeling good, looking good, what they say.
I love it. I love it.
How you feeling, man? It's good to see you again, man.
Oh, man, loving life. Life is beautiful.
That it is, man. Due to the worldly circumstances that's going on, man, I would say that things are pretty good though.
Well, things are great. I mean, the one thing that's going on as far as the pandemic, I think it's making people more aware how important their health is. You know,
Right.
Yeah. So I think that I know there's a lot of terrible situations that happen out. People lost people and things like that. But I think most of all, people really gain a little bit more respect for health is their wealth.
Absolutely. Speaking of health, you being an expert in that field, I would like to talk about that though, and it kind of ties in a little bit with with the pandemic, the hit of the pandemic, and the virus and antivirus and all of this stuff or whatever that's going on or whatever. How let's I know we diving right in, but
Okay, go on, jump in.
how do you feel about that with you being an health expert and being in that space? Like I would like to know your thoughts on everything.
As far as what's going on in
Well, with the pandemic and with the anecdotes that being pushed out there. Can we touch that, or is it safe to touch that?
I mean, we can always touch it. Now, when it comes to it, I wouldn't touch it, me personally. When you look at vaccinations, as far as the history of them, there are a lot of them are associated with autoimmune diseases and things like that, and so it's a really tough subject. It's hard to know what's right and what's wrong. I just think that people really have to do what's ever in their heart, whatever they tend to believe and feel, and for somewhat understand. I think that's probably important for them to lead them.
Right. Is it safe to it's because you hear so many different things as far as media gonna pump it all the way up.
I mean, that's the bad thing about the internet.
Right.
You don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great information. There's a lot of bad information. So what's right and what's wrong? That's the real tough part in deciphering the information that's out there on the internet. So I always tell people, try to gather as much information as you possibly can and let your heart lead you. And hopefully it leads you to the right place.
Right. Now let's talk about Dherbs too, because you guys are doing such amazing things over there. And seems like we got a lot of more products added on into the lineup as well. You guys are continuing to create amazing products that's amazing for the health and for the body condition as well. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So when it comes to Dherbs, you know, so we're big on prevention, not
Right.
getting into that vicious circle, not getting that diabetes, not getting high blood pressure. You know, we're trying to help you prevent that from coming, from bringing that to your system and things like that. Because falling in that medical loop sometimes is not the best thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? In life-saving situations, absolutely. Things like that, long-term stuff. I think it really depends on the thing that plays a huge role is your diet and what you're putting into your body. That's the most important thing. And a lot of times people think, you know, the whole thing about medication is they tend, the medical world tends to treat things. They're into treating it, not actually solving the issues. And that's my difficult that's the thing that kind of I have a tough time with the medical field. If we're not actually solving the issue, I don't understand it. Just treating the issue, basically they're setting themselves up for situations where they have a customer that they have to tend to for the rest of their life. And I find something a little unfair about that.
Right. Right. I definitely agree with you on that. Now, also too, me myself, a question just asking. I know that it is important, the type of food that we are consuming, um, as well as you get older. Um, how fatal would you say that it is, treading those lines of trying to attempt to eat healthy, eat healthier, and but still kind of treading a little bit too, though.
The one thing, what you put into your body is so important. It was funny. I mean, not too long ago, it was a fast food restaurant that they had to shut their doors because they were calling it's just the way the system is kind of set up that they had a particular meat. I think it was like ground beef or something. They had to
Mhm.
shut their doors because of the fact it wasn't a certain percentage of ground beef. It wasn't a certain percentage of meat.
Oh,
It had to be at
wow.
least 35% and over. And so therefore it was below that. And I think that that's where the problem is. The problem is within those lines that people can kind of scale and cheat instead of
Mhm.
just saying that, look, if it's not this, then it's not appropriate for human consumption. Like meat should just be meat. So therefore, if it's ground beef, it should be 100% ground beef. It shouldn't have all these different variations and certain percentages. Because I think people tend and companies tend to kind of run that line. So therefore, they're making people a little bit more vulnerable on what they're consuming because the most people don't understand that there are these percentages and there are these lines that companies can kind of cheat and make their product a little bit cheaper and make a little bit more money off of you and things along those lines. That's where it
Right.
gets really tough.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you because it's like, really, I mean, how do you really know?
But wouldn't it be nice if people were if it was ground beef that you were consuming, they would tell you what's the percentage of ground beef that's actually in it. Then that will help you make a determination if you're going to consume it or not. But that's not something that's visible, and that's
Right.
what the part that makes it a little bit unfair.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think I'm almost to the point now, man, to where it's I don't really want to eat anything now. Almost. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm the type. I jump on YouTube. I get to watching different things or whatever, man, and it's mind blowing when you start researching and digging into it, man. And it's frightening a little bit,
It's
'cause-
scary.
yeah, it is because just viewing the process of and then like you said, a lot of companies are scaling it back a little bit, finding other routes to produce faster, um, using less realness.
Absolutely. And that's what's going on. Everybody wants to make more money. So and I understand that, but I just think that when you start, using cheaper products to a point where the public is unaware of it, it's unfair.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I'm saying, like if you went to go eat a burger from whatever restaurant and you found out it was only 25% beef inside that burger, that would change your decision making process.
absolutely,
You'd be like,
absolutely
oh yeah, we can't eat here. It's over. But
right.
see, I think until they start exposing that, then it's going to be harder for the public to eat healthier
Right now,
and make wise decisions.
when you say expose it, you're saying like as far as on the menu, or
Yeah,
yeah.
either on the menu, on the website, somewhere where someone that's going to visit it or where people do visit that particular business, they get a chance to see what things are made up of.
That's pulling the curtain back right there.
Yeah, so then, but that would listen, and then I think that would force businesses to shape up
Yeah, yeah.
because people be making a lot more, you know, wiser decisions.
Absolutely. When it comes down to because I'm the plant based food, how healthy is it? The plant based food. They're saying it is. Um, I'm not too knowledgeable in that space, but I'm definitely curious about the
This
plant based burgers and plant based this and all of that.
So that's the whole thing. It happens in every industry. It's not just, the meat industry or just, what we call typically regular food. It happens in the plant-based, the vegan world, and all those worlds. People begin to skate the line. I think it starts off with, you know, as a great idea. And I just think as move more people start moving in that direction, the bigger brand companies move in that directions too. And then they begin to skate that line. And that's where it really, really gets tough. And I just think that probably as a human being, we should all be taught how to read labels.
Mm.
If you're taught how to read the label, and so therefore, especially with stuff at the grocery store, I think that would probably really change things. You know what I mean? You come across these words you can't pronounce. You don't know exactly what they are. It's a lot of us won't take the time to look it up on the internet and see where these things are actually derived from.
Right now, Dherbs is being called the powerhouse, the herbal supplement powerhouse, man. And congratulations on
Thank you.
the company is continuing to excel and grow to new heights. And I'm noticing too, the packaging is really top notch. You know what I mean?
We're getting better.
Yeah.
Listen, we're definitely getting better. The one thing I would always say that's so different about Dherbs, as far as as many companies want to make more and more money, and we're definitely one of those companies that want to do better. But to be honest, what's in that bottle is the thing that's our king, and we don't mess with that one. So when you look at our products, they're 100% herbs, 100% herbs, and then the capsules themselves are vegan capsules. That's never going to change for us ever. So what goes inside that bottle definitely it plays a role in our success for sure.
Right. Now, let's tap in on entrepreneurial success.
Hmm.
You're an expert in that space. Talk about the challenges with being an entrepreneur, because it's all on you.
Yeah,
It's not like you got a check coming in, or going to work for somebody else. And I just want to differentiate the difference between, because everybody see the success, see the lifestyle and all of this or whatever. But can we just talk about the difference between being an entrepreneur and actually going to work for somebody?
Yeah, being an entrepreneur is like being on a roller coaster by yourself.
Right.
You ain't nobody there to hold your hand, and that's ultimately what it is. So it sometimes can be a scary place and a challenging place, but for me, it's the best place for someone like me and my mentality to actually be. You know, you get to live out your dreams, do the things that you really aspire to do, and you get to kind of pick the things you want to tackle.
Right. Right. Now, cleansing.
Right.
Um, let's talk about that because how often should one cleanse the body?
It really depends on what you're consuming, what you're eating. I
Mhm.
always tell people just do a cleanse. You know what I mean? And see how you feel afterwards. And that sometimes we don't know what feeling good truly feels like because we never felt it. A lot of our diets were picked by our parents, and, you know, they didn't always know what's best for us when it came to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's always so when you cleanse and you actually feel good and get to know what feeling good truly feels like, that feeling, when that begins to dwindle, that'll tell you exactly when you need to probably cleanse again.
Right. Now with the full body cleanse, you know, it you can lose up to 30 pounds in 20 days. This is proven.
Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. But everyone's not going to lose that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It really depends on the condition of your body. So like someone like yourself that's in shape, that takes care of his body and is concerned about what you put into your body, that experience is probably not going to happen for you.
Right.
As far as the 30 pounds, will you shed some form of weight? Absolutely, because we all have waste within our body. And
Mhm.
just going to the restroom and things leaving your skin and things like that sometimes is not enough. So this is that extra little push as far as getting that debris out of your body, is cleansing. And the full body cleanse definitely does the trick when it comes to that.
Okay, let's dive in a little bit because I was doing some searching and I got to put my order in as well because I think that some of these products are amazing. I just want to go through a few of them.
No
Now
problem.
we got the 10-day blood cleanse.
Right.
Wow. Now cleansing the blood. Let's talk about that a little bit. That's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's your bloodline.
Mhm.
That's everything. That goes to all your organs throughout your whole entire body. So it's very important for your blood to be cleansed. You get new blood I think every 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. Every 3 months, you get brand new blood. So cleaning it and keeping it in good condition is great for you.
Right. Then we got the 10-day cleanse, 10-day colon cleanser, and
Hmm.
this focuses on cleansing your colon while assisting with colon and what is that word? Intentional. Wait, am I saying that correctly?
I'm not sure where you're reading from. So
Intestinal conditions.
yeah. So think about things like a lot of people are suffering, especially for Black males right now, colon cancer. That's a
Mhm.
huge thing for us. So this is, I mean, by keeping that colon clean and keeping it nourished and feeding the things that going to help it improve is important now, especially for a lot of African Americans as far as colon cancer is concerned, because we tend to be affected by that.
Right, right. Then we got the electric green combo regimen.
Right.
Wow.
So that's going to alkaline your entire system. So for anyone that's suffering from cancer and things like that, one of the keys they say to cancer is alkalinity, keeping your whole entire body alkaline, which is supposed to be a bulletproof vest for disease.
Wow, man. Yo, this is really really dope. So we got the 10-day full body cleanse express.
Right.
Now,
Now, so the reason why that one came about is because everybody, we try to give all forms of life some form of cleansing. So we
mhm,
came up with that one for mostly young people. For young people, for people who are scared of that 20-day stigma. They don't
Right.
think they can last for 20 days. So really, you do that particular cleanse, it's only one weekend you got to get through. It ain't 2 or 3 you got to get through. You got to get through one weekend. And people are tend to be able to really pull that off. So it at least shed some light and clean their system to some degree. So that's really important about the 10-day cleanse, is that you can kind of get exposed to cleansing. And then when you're ready, you jump to the big daddy over there, which is the 20-day full body cleanse.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Now, got a fan question. Now they were saying, would somebody with you being the guru that you are in the health space, would one tend to consider um, being involved with somebody who may not be in that space? Would there be some converting going on here, or would it just be well?
When you
I,
say involved, you mean dating?
yeah, I
No,
guess that's what she's
that
saying.
that's tough. That
Right.
is tough. I think that's where it gets really tricky for people. Like when I was growing up, I was, you know, um, my parents were into the Muslim
Mhm.
religion. So therefore, you don't eat pork, you don't do certain things. So I just think it makes a relationship a little bit easier if people have similar beliefs. It doesn't have to be, but I just think it makes it a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but when it comes to making dinner at home, it might definitely, its ugly head may definitely stick out during that time. You know.
Absolutely. I agree with you because and it's funny that you say that because I think that that's where a lot of relationships may possibly fail at because um they're not I would say that we're not balanced enough in more areas than not.
Yeah, it really, really comes out. Like I've never had pork a day in my life because of my upbringing with my parents and things like that. I've never consumed pork. I have
Right.
no desire to consume it ever. So if you have someone who interested in eating that way, and like I said, you're making dinner at home, it definitely going to present some challenges for sure. Like me, I don't want it in my refrigerator at all.
Right.
So if someone does, that gets probably a little bit more difficult. What's up, man?
Right. Right. In terms of working out, what would you say is a good weekly workout program?
Probably a great weekly workout program would, I just think just getting your whole entire body to move, and
Mhm.
especially depending on who you are and when you are. I just think doing things where it's not so hard on your body. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
I love that elliptical machine for an older audience where your whole entire body is moving. You know, you got your legs moving, your arms moving, and things like a low impact workout. I think is great for someone who's not an athlete, who's just slowly kind of getting into this exercise movement and things like that. I think that's an amazing way to go.
Right. Now, because I seen something online, man, where they were talking about fruits and veggies. Um, Incorporating that because I'm seeing a lot of people making their own fruit juicers now and different things like that. Um, how effective would you say that the juices are? Because I notice a lot of people make them different ways or whatever. Is there a proper way, or you can pretty much just put it together the way that you want to put it together, as long as you're using fruits and veggies?
Well, there is a combination chart when it comes to fruits and vegetables. Dherbs, I think we have a link on our website to tell you certain things that you shouldn't combine.
Mhm.
A lot of times people don't know strawberries and bananas. I know you see that combination all the time, but
Right.
those particular things together makes it a little bit more difficult for your body to process that. So understanding the food combining chart, I think is crucial in speeding up your digestive process and not slowing it down.
Right. Right. And went out vacationing. because I know that it is important to consume a certain amount of sunlight.
Vitamin
Um,
D.
yeah, but different ways of you still got to protect your skin as well with consuming too much of it.
Absolutely. But too much of anything is probably not great for you. So yeah, understanding that aspect of how much sunlight you need a day. Um, I think people who live in places where the winter is really, really tough, they're probably more affected by that. People in
Right.
California, Miami, things like that, where the sun tends to be out a lot more, and we do a little bit more walking. It's fine for us, but definitely finding a natural form of vitamin D, I think, is crucial. Like a lot of times, people here just walk around the block. You know what I mean? And you got 15 minutes, walk around the block, things like that. Getting a little bit of that sun the natural way, I think, is great for you.
What would you say that really shifted you towards going into um, this this market, the health market, which is a great market to be in, but it's also a tedious market too because it's a lot of red
Educate.
tape,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of education that goes along with it to be able to back up the things that's being said.
I think for me, it's just more about finding things that you really, really love. So when I did my first cleanse prior to starting the company, I had an amazing experience, and I began doing everyone's cleanse, and I
Mm,
noticed there was something different about each of those cleanse, something special about all of them. But I felt like they were all had something missing. So when we put together the Dherbs full body cleanse, we felt like we kind of brought everything to a point. It had everything that I thought would be special for a
mhm.
cleanse. And, some cleanses, especially ones that you find at like grocery stores and stuff like that, they won't give you a dietary regimen that comes along with it.
Mm,
And how can you cleanse and not have a dietary regimen? But more people are concerned with people, being reluctant of it because there is a dietary regimen. To most of them, people tend to run away from that because they just kind of they want you to purchase their product basically. So we kind of tell you the entire truth here. And then also you got some cleanses that just focus on your colon, which can give you the illusion of cleansing just because you're going to the bathroom, but you have way more limited channels than that. Your skin is the biggest organ in your body. More things pass through your skins than your actual bowels. So that plays a role. So you got to know all of those kinds of things and understand that there's a variety of different organs that you have to go after to truly, truly cleanse.
how do you protect though? How do you protect things from bad things from entering your body like that?
I mean, that's a lot of times that's environment and what you put into your body. So a
Mhm.
lot of times we're forced in certain environments. We grew up in certain neighborhoods. So that's hard for us. But I just think the more and more you become enlightened, the things you stop doing, you know what I mean? And, as far as, just all kind of things, hanging around people who smoke and who drink and you drinking and just all those kind of things. I just think that certain environments you got to feel like what's good for me, how does my body deal with those certain things, and make those wise decisions for yourselves.
Right. When it comes down to herb, you know, people tend to think that marijuana is not damaging.
Yeah, I know, they
Um,
crazy, ain't they?
yeah,
They always say it's from the earth. I was like, so is rattlesnakes.
right, right,
So is a bear. You know what I mean? These things are
right.
from the planet too, but you're not gonna go walk up to one of those things. So I just think anytime you're putting smoke inside your lungs, it's going to be damaging to your body. It's just the flat out truth. You're not going to be able to avoid that. Just
Mm,
not. You know what I mean? You just think about it from this perspective as far as smoke and things like that. Firefighters die extremely young,
yeah.
and it's because of all the stuff that they're bringing in, all
Mm,
the chemicals, all that smoke that's coming into their system. So you think that you're going to be different, and you're intentionally putting something into your body that shouldn't be there. It's not. It's just certain thought processes just not wise. I just think it's an excuse for certain people.
Right. And
And
and to think that, I mean, it's this global business success now that's just it's taking off, man. And like you said, I mean, it does have
it's
everybody thinking that
prohibition.
it's nothing wrong with that.
It's prohibition. That's all it is. They just did it for marijuana. That's it.
Right. Right.
That's it. That's it. They just opened the doors on that. It's no longer a penalty that comes along with it. Similar to back in the day when alcohol held those kind of penalties. Now it's not there anymore. And they know people are addicted to it and are interested in it. So therefore that's what it is. That's what's
Right.
going on.
Right. What would you say has been the biggest disappointment to AD this year?
This year,
Yeah.
God, usually from my failures, to be honest, I learn from every single one of them. So I don't even consider them bad. You know what I mean? Every
Right.
single thing. I had a record label back in the day, but and it went terribly. It went awful. But you know what I learned from that? I learned how to make my own videos. I learned, I learned how to edit. I learned so many different things that I use currently for this business. It turned out to be a benefit. So I just think that through every failure, anything that you go through, and somewhere along the lines, it's going to be a benefit to you.
Right. Most valuable business decision that you've made outside of launching Dherbs?
Yeah. So probably for me, let me see. My far as the best decision I've made outside of this, me and my brother, Dherbs has a real estate business that we started
Mm.
within the last year and a half, and I think that that's probably one of the more interesting and thing that I think is going so well for us. And it gives us a chance to do different things in different communities throughout the country because we're buying massive apartment buildings throughout the country. And
Right.
it gives us a chance to, really help people, do the right thing for people, get rid of that slumlord mentality, be there for your customers and things like that. So that's one of the businesses that we recently started that I find most gratifying.
Right. Congratulations on that. And then, it's something else you and your brothers doing together. I know some people feel it's difficult to work with family members, and it can have its difficulties at times, but I always think that it's a good thing to build with the family as well.
Oh yeah, my family's we super tight. We don't have the weird arguments. Everybody's honest with each other, to a fault. We tell everyone the truth, but each individual understands the truth is just that person's truth. It doesn't have to mean that you can't do it. You shouldn't move forward. It's just based upon, what happened to that particular person and their existence on this planet. That helps you formulate your decision. And they may tell you certain things, but my family's super open, super helpful. You know what I mean? We always work together. There are no weird conversations. Everyone's completely honest with each other, and it's been amazing. So a lot of times, me, my sister, who has a company called IQ Air,
Okay. Can we
she has
what is that about? Can you
they
tell me what
they
that is?
clean they clean the air,
Wow.
clean the air. She's done the last two Olympics. So she did the Olympic in she did the one in China, which was a few, almost I don't know when that one was, and then she did the other one. I think it was in where is it? Where was it? Where was the last Olympics at? I can't remember right now. It's slipping my mind.
You got
It's
me.
in South America somewhere. I can't recall. They clean the air. So she cleans the air. They do it. They have it's a massive company. It's because of the success of her company is why me and my brother decided to do Dherbs. It's because we seen her doing so well. He was like, hey, maybe we need to start our own thing, because he was doing real estate, I was doing some other stuff, so we was like, maybe we should do something. And then it kind of pushed us to a point where we started looking for things and stuff like that. And their company just got bigger and bigger, and it's a massive company. It's much bigger than our company right now. They're huge. They're so everywhere.
That is amazing, man. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Right now, anybody that is trying to get in on some of this healthness, man, and you guys want to check out some of the products, you can log on at www.dherbs.com, and you can make some purchases. You can go on there, man, and look at all of the products. It's very detailed. The website is very detailed. It has everything on it. Also, if you want to call, you could also call the Dherbs toll-free line. It's 866-434-3727. They also have an international line at 323-522-3370. 80, man, I want to thank you so much. And before we get out of here, can you tell me, I know y'all got a lot of stuff, anything y'all got coming up that we need to be in the loop on, man, or we can look out for?
Well, the one thing that Dherbs is doing, we're doing this thing called Dherbs Kitchen. So that's one thing that's coming up, where on your cleanse, a lot of times people are having, tough time with the food aspect of it. So we're trying to come up with ways that we can provide people with food. We're doing a slow rollout right now. We're selling our raw bars. So you can buy raw bars from us. And these are things that you can have on your cleanse, which are great.
Oh, wow. And when is that dropping?
No, the raw bars are already out. So we're slowly, so we're slowly implementing more and more food. And I think probably the hardest thing about, cleansing is not really so much like the big meals. It's more or less like the snacks. What do you eat in between the meals? So we're going to start off with snacks, and we started off with the raw bars first.
Wow, man, listen. Gotta tap in, my brother. It's a lot going on. Stay making moves. I'm so proud of you, man.
I appreciate that.
On all the success and everything that you have going on. You always come through for me every time, my brother. So for me and the team, man, we just want to thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us for a little while. Thank you for educating us and dropping gems on us as usual. And you already know, we got to get you back on here again. You already know that.
Anytime. Just let me know. You have a wonderful day.
Absolutely, man. It's the one and only AD Dolphin. Appreciate you, King.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much, everybody that was on the live, man, that stayed in and hung out. Tapped in with my special guest, the one and only AD Dolphin, man. Hope y'all learned something, man. I always try to educate y'all every time. Thank y'all so much. If you are not subscribed to the Vibe Show 97.9, hit that subscribe button, man, and turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews coming up with my special guest, health and wellness expert, the one and only AD Dolphin. I'm King Don. It's the Vibe Show 97.9.
I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good. I swear this week got me in this bitch feeling good.
This shit feels so good to me. I swear it feels so good to me. I mean, float on, float on, float on. This shit feels so good to me. I swear